What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to talk about how narcissists use calculated payback and revenge when you cut off their supply. Now, narcissists, they become a little unhinged when they have, you know, a lack of control, and they create this plot, you know. They have a motive to get calculated revenge on you. And that comes from a place of being very over emotional over a situation that they lost control on. And that situation is you, or the way they're used to you doing things. When you stop responding to the narc the way they expect you to, they don't have you anymore. And even though you have set boundaries and you kind of made things go a way that works for you, even though you probably rather not deal with them at all, but sometimes we still have to, they still feel like they lose you. That's not good enough for them. They want to be able to have that entitlement to just kind of take over how things will be and be able to call the shots at all times. And, when you take that ability away from them, sometimes they just get out of order with things, and they can become a little unhinged. you know they become very psychotic and just show this psychopathic way of showing you how unstable they are. They might even start reaching out to third parties and explain displaying a lot of their unstable emotions just to get a response out of you. And it's also to teach you a lesson, you know, because they can't handle being ignored. They feel like that you're staying away from them too long. That's one thing. They're going to reach out to you. But if they see that your engagement is not the way they think it should be, you're not giving enough of yourself to them. They need more out of you. That's when you'll start to see them start to plan up a way to get back at you, to get you to comply with them the way they want you to. Because they need to have that control again. Narcissists are very controlling. It's a control thing. When they see that they can't control you anymore, they're going to try to punish you, teach you a lesson, or within all that, they're going to try to, control how other people see you. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick little backstory about something that happened that I really don't want to get into too many details about, but I'm gonna give y'all, this quick story just so you can get an idea of what calculated revenge is. Okay, so I told y'all about the time when I got into it with the she not my mother-in-law, but I got into it with his mom last Easter because of the way she approached me. And of course, I didn't give her the response that she wanted, but I wasn't expecting that out of her. It's like I was still trying to get to know her. And that day, it's like her mask came completely off. And I seen her. I seen her for who she was. And plus the way that she was expressing herself and the way she was acting. And I told y'all about that in a video from last Easter. And so from then on, I decided to just, not deal with her because I know who she was. And of course, he's the scapegoat. So anyway, fast forward to Thanksgiving. She started again. She took something and blowed it out of proportion just to have a reason to kind of attack me because she see that she really can't get a reaction out of me like she want to. Because what she don't realize is that I'm on to her already, and I uh, just choose not to deal with her. And that's another way of them showing you that it bothers them just that much when you don't give them the response they want. Even if it's an argument, they want it. It gives them supply. They get their kicks out of it. But when I don't pay her no mind at all, that kills her. So she pushed again. It is like she wait for months on down the line. So last week, we did a little 3 day getaway, just a 3 day little romantic getaway. And it's like, because with him being a scapegoat and just cutting her off and not dealing with his own mother, it's just like she still feels that power over him. She feels that entitlement to have so much power over him, to where if he's spending so much time on me, he don't have time for her, and it's my fault. When she failed, see, narcissists are very arrogant, and fail to realize that people have a mind of their own, and some people come around to realize who they are dealing with. So it doesn't have nothing to do with the people they're spending time with. It's just the fact that they realize who you are and they don't want to deal with you no more. And she never thought that that day would come where her own son doesn't want to deal with her anymore. And maybe it does have a lot to do with him being with me, because I helped him to see these things and help him to understand that you deserve better. You deserve to be loved. You are enough. I showed him this, and it's just like he sees it more and more. It's more clear to him. So it doesn't have to do with me keeping him away from her. He realized it on his own. It has a lot to do with self-awareness, something that the narcissist does not have. Self-awareness, and they do not care about your well-being. All they know is what they want, as long as you are supplying their needs. And that goes for anybody. So when the narc parent has a hard time letting go of any other person in their life, they're gonna have a hard time letting go of their own children, adult children. And so it's just like, during that second time when she um, came at me the wrong way, my daughter got in it. My daughter took it among herself to get in it and have a few words with her to let her know you're out of line. And just like you go hard behind your children, I'm going to go hard behind my mom. So, with all due respect, please stop, uh, you know, just leave my mother alone, period. And so we thought that it ended at that. It was peaceful. It was done. Of course, she gonna still reach out to her son, because and that's not, so I don't have nothing to do with that, you know. But he tells me things. I mean, we in a relationship. Of course, he gonna share things with me that goes on with the family. They have a very toxic family, a very controlling family dynamic, to the point where she's the leader of it. And it goes all the way down with him being a scapegoat, and he's gotten away from all that. The rest of them, she's trained them to think that now they have to help her hunt him and get him back. You know, they can't risk the chance of him getting with somebody like me who will help him see these things. It's like it's a spiritual thing. It goes deeper than just, I don't get along with his mother type thing. It's not that. It's deeper than that. And I see more than what, what he was able to see for a long time. I guess just by being with me, a lot of these things, it comes clearer now. But again, I'm not keeping him from her. I don't have that ability, and I don't want to. My main focus is our relationship. She can't handle that. And it's like, the longer we're together and he's outside of that toxic family dynamic, the better we are, and the better it's like he's bettering himself as a person and as a man. He's becoming just he's just becoming better with time. The longer he's away from that. And I just be so happy to see that in him, in anybody who's able to escape a narcissistic environment, especially within a family. And so again, the lady got a hard time dealing with that. Of course, she's gonna attack me and blame me for it, and put that out there. And because I don't deal with her, it's a control thing. Again, she don't have control over him. She definitely don't have no control over me. And so when my daughter reached out to her that time and got her mind right, she saved her number. So when she saved my daughter's number, what happened was last week when we went on our little 3-day getaway, she rushed out to my daughter because it was too quiet. I just felt it in the atmosphere like something about to happen. It's like I felt it in my gut that it's just too quiet and too peaceful, because she would go 2, 3 days at a moment and she would just start bothering him. And then it just trickles down to the dad. And even though she's divorced from that man, she still have so much power over him. She still treats him as if not only he's her husband, that's the title. It's this title thing with narcissists. Like, you're gonna always belong to me. She treats him like I own you, in a sick, controlling way, which they are, like, very controlling and delusional. And so he's kind of a part of the cult activity, of this cult activity they got going on. It trickles down to him and to the rest of his siblings, uh, to reach out to him, to urge him, you need to call mom, you need to call dad, you need to check on your brother, you need to check on your sister. All of them just use this. They all use the same, um, they all just use the same pattern, to the same excuse to get at him, urging him that it's important to stay within the family and check in on everybody, and for Christmas, his dad, now he's cool, but again, he's under that control. He's under the mom's narc control. I sent him the Christmas pictures of us, and I'm guessing he shared it, but you don't really know what was said when he shared it. But the mother used that calculated revenge, now calculated payback, as a way to reach out, not to her son, not to me, to my daughter, and told my daughter that your mom is evil. God gonna punish her. She's keeping my son away from me. And just all this stuff. And it's like, Lord is taking everything out of me not to go to her. I do not play about my children. I don't care how old they are. I don't play about my kids. And my children, my son is about to be 26 years old. Don't play with my children. My daughter right under him. She's about to be 25 this year. Don't play with my children. If you got something to say it to me. My daughter had every right to tell you to step off because you was coming at me wrong. But now you're using that calculated revenge to reach out to my child. You saved her number. You were waiting for the perfect time, because that's what they do. They have motives, to get back at my child, to tell her that I'm evil, and the reason why is you're so upset at the fact that she's keeping him away from his family, and just all this foolishness that she knows it's not true. And so my daughter said, my mom is not keeping him away from, why? First, my daughter's like, why are you calling my phone? So my daughter had texted to me, and I say, block her, and I'm going to take it up from here. I'm going to let him know, and we're going to deal with that from here on. So my daughter was like, well, she's calling from her house phone and from this number. And I'm like, okay. Now, this is harassment. Let her know you work for the federal government and you're going to file harassment charges. I bet that'll scare her away. So he was like, no, don't do that. I'm going to take care of it. So when my daughter blocked the numbers and stuff, she didn't reach out no more. She reached out one more time, and my daughter said, call your husband on three-way. She said, your mom's son. She have no business sending. Then she throwing it in our family's face that she got him. She won't let him come around. She would let him come around for Thanksgiving or Christmas. She sent pictures to my husband. That's not your husband. That's your ex. It's ex for a reason. Pictures to my husband. Why is she sending pictures to him? Why is she communicating with my husband? Like, what? So my daughter says she was taking it to a place where I'm sending, like inappropriate pictures to this man daddy, first of all. And what else? And just trying to put that, and I say, see, if she'll take it there, she'll take it further and put that lie out there to people. And I say, but he got the proof that that didn't happen. I'm not, like, I know what she is. I know what she's about. I know where this is going. But my daughter not really being in the fullness of it. She ready to go toe to toe with her. Like, don't play with my mama like that. My mama not about that. I know where you taking this. I will really get at you about my mama, you know. So I'm like, you just ignore her, like I said. And I told you, don't engage with her. Soon as you know it's her, threaten her. That's when I told my daughter, threaten her and let her know who you work with. Use your resources. You work for the federal government. Let her know. I got everything on you right here that you're harassing me, you know, holding on to something from way back in November, which I had every right to tell you to back off my mom. So anyway, um, and I don't feel like my daughter was wrong for telling her that. I know it came from, I'm her mama, and it was coming from a place of emotions. Don't mess with my mama. You know, anybody will understand that. But this woman is very calculated with it because it's coming from a place of control. And that she has lost control of her son. And he's not reaching out to her. He don't want to visit them, see them, deal with none of them. He never answers the phone for him. I even be saying, at least answer for your daddy. The man been sick and he won't. Like, he really cut him off. That ain't me. That's on him. Because answer him so I could see just what's going to be said. He going to share everything with me. That's content. That's me putting out evidence of who these people are. So, Lord knows I ain't stopping them from talking. I don't have that kind of power and I don't want that kind of power. So, yeah. So, the thing about it is, they get revenge and they reach out to third party people. There's no limits to the way they try to get their point across. That you're not going to get away from me that easy without putting up a fight, and I'm going to make your life miserable and everybody around you. That's the message the narcissist is trying to give. When when you cut off supply to them, they'll get to reaching out to anybody around you. And she rushed out. See, the thing is, she used my daughter. That was to get to me, because she feeling like it's a game. This is not a game. This is my man, and it ain't a competition. You his mama. You're going to always be his mother. I'm not trying to compete with that. We love him differently. And on top of that, he don't want to have nothing to do with you. He don't. He's grown to realize what he's been dealing with since a child. And he done with it. Like, period. Accept it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, they have unstable emotions. And that's why they become unhinged like that and just do crazy off the wall things. And they don't care how far they take it because their mind is just gone. Their mind is gone. And they just on go, you know. And it's like she was going to continue to do it until he reached out to her and told her to stop. I seen when he called her and she didn't answer. So he texted her and he said, "Hello, mother. Why are you starting all this confusion and why are you reaching out to Felicia's daughter?" Um, she said, he said, "Everybody know that we are together. So what are you talking about pictures?" And she said, "I know all that, son. I'm just trying to get you to call me and to reach out to your family. There's nothing wrong with sending pictures when you talk on a regular basis, but you just stop communicating. And a picture is just a picture. It don't have no words behind it. We want to hear your voice." And I'm like, but if somebody don't want to be bothered with you, there's a reason, and you know that. So it's not even about that. Like, you can use that fake mess. That's not gonna work on everybody, and look like it's not really working on him no more. It's a control thing, you know. And nobody reaches out to him but the ones who she got control of. Again, to take y'all back, when my daughter said if he had a problem with her sending Christmas pictures, your husband, call your husband on three-way and I'll apologize to your husband on my mother's behalf for sending these pictures because it's late and I have to be to work for 4 in the morning and you gonna stop calling my phone like this. You act like something wrong with you. That's your son and I don't have nothing to do with that. So she said, "No, I'm not going to call and bother him. He's dealing with a lot with his health." And she said, well, if he dealing with his health, then why are you worrying him with stuff like this or something? My daughter said, because she was texting it to me. And I say, because it was a lie. It's a control thing. And that man probably ain't say nothing about me sending them pictures. Because he like, y'all know how you could read a text message and you may not respond to it, but you could tap it twice. And then there's like 5 or 6 icons like love, like, I think it's a thumbs up or haha, stuff like that. And he liked it. So I'm like, unless it was the grandkids playing on his phone and they did it, it doesn't matter. He is a grown man. He know how to speak for himself. He stopped dealing with them for that reason alone because the mother is in control of everybody. He got away from that. She can't deal with it, and that's that. And with me being in the picture, it's like a competition thing to her. Like I'm winning because I got too much of his time. I get too much of his love. I don't have to use him. He chose to love me on his own. I didn't have to, like manipulate him for love. I didn't have to trick him into loving me. None of that. He's doing it on his own free will. You know, there's no dictatorship with us there. I don't take no prisoners. He's free to leave if he want to, if he's not happy with this no more. I'm not holding him back and he ain't holding me back. We're good. We good on this end. And she can't stand the fact that we good and happy and at peace with what it is right now. And every relationship have their problems because you're constantly still getting to know the person. And within that, it's you're adjusting to things, and then there's compromise, and it's stuff that he's learning to do now, being away from that toxic family dynamic, that control system she had going on. But of course, when they feel like you've gotten too far away from them and it's nothing they can do about it, they come up with a way, a plan, and a motive to get calculated revenge to punish you. And it still didn't work because since then, this was what, last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when it happened. I haven't reached out to her. I could have said, look, you don't reach out to my daughter. I didn't, I still haven't reached out to her for that because she know when she texted him and said, she said, son, everybody knows that you and Felicia together. And what's your point? My point was she said, I did that to get you to call me and your dad. It's nothing like hearing a person's voice. Those are just pictures, but pictures don't have words behind them. And it's like, but it's like you never had a problem communicating with your family. It don't have nothing to do with that. Again, it's a control thing because you stopped. And they know why you stopped. Because he was tired of everybody just following these orders. And for what? Why are we following this one lady's orders? And no matter what, it's never enough for her. And then with him being a scapegoat, he's constantly criticized, constantly put down, constantly feeling unworthy. He's just learning this about himself, like how to love myself again, and just things like that you really have to bring yourself out of this deep dark place where the narc had you for so long, especially if you were raised by one. Like that's not a change that's just gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take a while. And continuing to deal with the thing that has brought you down is not gonna help you. So he's doing what he needs to do for him. But again, that don't have nothing to do with me. That's all I know. As for now, I'm back at my house. They could be talking now if she's popped up to his house, or the sisters or the brothers or the dad. Like, I don't know, and I don't know what they could be putting in his head, but I don't put nothing past him because that's how the narc have that kind of control over people in situations. If they can, they set those type of narratives, you know. And like I say, when she went so far as to try to say that I'm sending her husband, inappropriate pictures, like, you knew that was a lie. You really, really wanted that. You really wanted somebody to respond off that, react off that, and you still didn't get nothing out of me because you know it's a lie. I know it's a damn lie. and you targeted my daughter because I know how to deal with you and my daughter not. It's the way that they do things. But she got to see me again. Just like for Christmas, she's gonna send a message saying Merry Christmas. I never responded. She sent that through him to tell me that. You know, I never respond. I don't have nothing to say to her because she's an evil person and I know how to pick my battles. God told me to chill and be still and leave it alone. He gonna deal with her. He's dealing with her when she allow him to, because she only gets the backlash, the punishments, because she refused to stand corrected. It's like she's above reproach. It's like she too much to take accountability for anything. It's always an excuse for her behavior. So they don't care how far they take you. They will take you down to hell with them. They don't care. So I know not to pick those type of battles. It's not worth my time and my energy. And definitely not my spirit. You're not gonna pick me like that to the point where you're gonna get me to react to you that way. You're not even worth it. The length is in my pocket is worth more than dealing with a narc. Giving them that type of time. You know, I'm on a whole nother level with this, but God still, I'm still working on it, learning different things. I'm not at the point where I just know it all about narc and they can't, but I'm at the point where I know just enough to know what not to deal with and how to approach them and how not to approach them. When to ignore, as hard as it is. It's hard, but you got to ignore a lot because they going to push some buttons. They going to push some buttons that's going to make you want to pull up a many days on their ass. But you got to know just when to just let it go because it comes with the territory. And you got to remember that boundary you set, that line. You got to remember not to cross that line. They know if they cross that line, what they coming into, and they not going to get nothing out of you. But if you cross the line to their side, you going to get something out of them, and it's not worth it. So just don't even take it there. And I'm learning that, and I'm proud of myself for not even allowing her to get to me in that way. Cause I don't play about my children. I don't. Don't nobody play about their kids. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, you have to be careful because those people are evil. And again, they don't really know it probably because they don't understand how it goes spiritually, but they're working for the devil. They do dirt, and when you do dirt follow you. It's just like they have a really bad track record, and the devil is giving them everything they want. So when they don't please the devil, their misery is punishment, and they go harder trying to hurt people through their misery, because misery loves company. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video right here. I didn't mean to make it that long, but that's that calculated revenge and calculated payback that narcissists, you know, they use when you cut off their supply. So by me telling that story is just a way of, showing y'all how it works. They're gonna involve other people and just do anything by any means necessary to get you to respond and comply, you know. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.